Gonna do a little garden update. Here's my peas. I put some bricks against them to make them climb the fence because they were climbing my potatoes. These are the russet potatoes here. Getting pretty tall. If I get down, you can see the height of them. Then I got some red Norlands. Here, they're doing really well. And these are probably just a little taller than some of them. And then Yukon Gold at the end. There's 6 plants of Yukon Gold. One didn't come up yet, so I don't know if it's gonna. A few odd onions and some garlic here. So that's one raised bed. First raised bed I did this year. We come over to here. I put up this cattle panel, and I just got pole beans in, and they're already up to waist high. And this is the whole side here. Started these in the house, moved them to the greenhouse. As you can see, the other side I haven't gotten done yet, and the weeds here are just growing. They're just, this section of the garden is just it needs a lot of help. That's what my next plan of attack is. Number 2, raised bed number 2. This is kale and butter crunch lettuce. So the butter crunch lettuce will be gone in a couple weeks, and the kale will take over. It'll need all the room. That's over there's 5 rows of radishes, 3 rows of red with the white icicles in between. And this is onions. And again, at the end of the row, peas, and these are grabbing the damn onions, so I've got to put a board in there to lean them toward the fence, or tie them with a string in there or something, because I got to get them up on the fence. I'll mess with that later. So I'm trying to grow peas at the end of the row. You'll see them in every row. And I capped off the blocks where I got blocks. I got to get more. And I'm lifting up a lot of the carpets because the grass is rooting, weeds are rooting right in the carpet. So I raise them up and scrape the things down. On this one here, I did that. I removed the carpets. I'll scrape and weed whack that down and then put the carpets back in. This is row 3. Let me get on this side because shadows. This is jalapeno peppers, 8 plants. They've only been in for a week or so. These are Lady Bells, this green peppers. Some parsley over there. This is Swiss chard. We started from seed. That's Brussels sprouts over there and broccoli over there on that side. There's more peas coming up. These are sugar snap peas here. I started them later so we don't get everything at once. And these are the beets. They're doing really good. So this is row 3. That brings me over to row 4. I planted that the day after row 3. I just haven't had a chance to get out. And this is corn that we started early in the house, and then it moved them to the greenhouse, and they've doubled in size since I put them in. They're almost knee-high already. And this is an early variety, so 65-day variety. So we'll be eating these probably before the 4th of July, maybe even the last week of June. And then this comes into tomatoes. These are Mountain Pride here, first four plants. And then the last 4 are celebrities, which are resistant to a lot of. These just been in, I don't know, 3-4 days now. They're doing pretty good. So that's the 4 raised beds. Pretty much full. And you can see over there that get a better perspective of the height of those potatoes. They're really tall, so Jesus, see if I can see it. There they are. So now I'm going to get you into what I've been working on quite a bit, which is the berry patch. Put screening it in across the front. I still got to put a piece up here. I got to build a gate screened in on this end. So this whole end is done, and we're going to lay the top, netting over the top. We put support over the middle. That's going to hold all the wires. The wires are here. Here's a wire. Here's one. I just ran one over and back so you could see it. I got a spool of it here. It's a vinyl coated, pretty heavy gauge wire, vinyl coated. So it's going to go across and come back every 4 feet all the way down. You can see the holes there, the eyes. So there's eyes all the way down on both sides. So it's one continuous cable, a spool of cable. I got it for 20 bucks at Job Lot a few years ago. It was like 19 bucks. So, and this bed here, that goes all the way down 35 feet, that's going to be all strawberries. I've got some in the pot that looks like the sun scalded them a little bit, but they want to get in. They want to get in. They're already producing. There's berries all over on the thing. I got to get it in the ground. So maybe later today. And all the blueberries here have been being pollinated by bees. I posted a video earlier on that. They are loaded now with little berries all over them. And this is just, I've had them 1 full year, so this is just loaded with berries there. So, and I make my own compost, so for my chickens, and I put it like 2 feet around the plants. I get on the other side so you can see in my shadow. I put 2 feet around the plants, and I got 7 bushes in, 3 different varieties. And this mulch is very, very thick. Three of my trailer loads just to top off what I had from before. And the gold raspberry patch, which was all but gone, I transplanted some of these in last year. I put that one in. She's a little wilted. I put 1 wire up, but I got the 3 more to put up. And anything that grows outside the wire, like this one's just outside, eventually when it fills in on the inside, I'll remove that plant. Anything that grows outside the wire is going to be gone. But this was transplanted yesterday. I had dug some up and moved them. Here's all the wires sticking out through there, banging into them in my head. But the blackberries are going really, really taking off. They're all in bloom now. They're blooming like crazy. And I'm learning how to prune these things so they really, really take off. This is because I'm on the back side of the sun, you don't see a lot of the blooms, but I'll go on the other side. But just all the way up down. And what happens, these are primocanes, so equivalent to everbearers. They produce, these berries are on last year's new wood. So, and just loads of blossoms. And these berries are huge. Here I stuck this one, and ain't doing too well right now. But what I like is this new growth right here. See this new growth from the ground up? This is all this year's. When that gets up to the top wire or the bottom wire, I can snip it off, and then I want laterals to come out and let them go each side on the wire 3 feet, and then snip them off. And then you get all of these little shoots coming off of it like this, a whole bunches, and then you'll get just lots of berries. So I've been getting them mostly just from the first tropical plants, but these are starting to go now. I think I got the mulch deep enough where they'll get constant moisture. See, not getting enough to support this, so this part of it dies off. I'll prune these back. Like there's a bud there, but probably prune it back to here. There's new growth coming. And it's getting ready to blossom. So the new stuff that comes up from the ground, like I was telling you, here's one right here just coming. This will grow probably 4 inches a day, and when it gets up to the top, I'll cut it and I tie it to the wire, and then start pruning it. That will bear fruit this fall, September, right up to frost. We'll get berries again. So I get a big flush here in June. I'm going to get this first picking, and then in the fall, and the new growth here is just a lot of new growth off of this old growth, and all on this new growth is they're just loading up. Just so we're in for a pretty good spring harvest, I think. There's just berries galore, but the birds are your enemy, especially with blueberries. I put them in last year and they loved them. So I'm looking forward to being able to walk in here anytime I want. The net's going to lay up on the top of this. It's going to cover this whole area. I got one big enough to cover it twice. So the chickens are going to get an addition. That's a little small area for them. I throw all my weeds as I'm weeding and stuff into them. Hi, girls. But this whole area here is going to all be chicken yard. I got to move some stuff out of there. Get rid of the stone. Making back. So this is it in a nutshell. Everything's really taken off with the weather change here. And I like the new growth, and as these things start to die back, I'll just cut all the old wood out. And still got a little bit to go. Got to make the door. But it's a big area. And once it gets going, it's there forever. You just got to top dress it a little bit each year. That's it for this week in May. I guess what's the day? Let me look. 23rd of May, 2022.